This is Scoot from the Cleveland Sports Fan Network, here to tell you about our new lineup for the rest of 2021 and beyond. We still have your favorites like Oshimita and the Fan on Mondays, our flagship show, the Cleveland Sports Fan, on Tuesdays. Wednesday has the Burley Gunner Show. Thursday is the Four Chubs, a roundtable show hosted by Burley Gunner. And on Friday, Pit Road News, a NASCAR, F1, and IndyCar talk show hosted by Scoot, the Cleveland sports fan himself. New episodes every day at 6 a.m. Eastern. Visit us at redcircle.com/Cleveland-sport-fan. Hey, this is Scott.
And Burke.
From the Davis and Davis Show, the podcast for everything Ohio. Two guys who met at the University of Akron and have a love for Northern Ohio.
We talk about everything from entertainment to motorsports to fine wine and spirits.
Do you want to get a little insight on Northern Ohio from the perspective of two middle-aged men? Well, as we say, grab a beer, a glass of wine, sit down, relax, and listen.
New shows every Thursday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern. Just go to www.redcircle.com/Davis and Davis.
Or find us on Apple Podcast, Prime Podcast, Google Podcast. Check out our Facebook page at Davis and Davis. We're not a real law firm.
And we just don't care.
Welcome to the law firm of Davis and Davis. We're not a real law firm.
Go ahead, grab a beer, a glass of wine, sit back and listen. Hey, Burke and I are here to welcome you back to part 2.
I got more stuff here.
Okay. Do you know how many awards this show won?
I seem to have glossed over that. I want to say it was only one, and I want to say it was for the music.
7 Academy Awards were nominated for the show, and 3.
No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Tommy Lee Jones won for Best Supporting.
Correct.
Okay.
7 Academy Awards were nominated. 3 Golden Globes were nominated. Jones himself, ironically, winning both the Academy Award and Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a Supporting Role. Harrison Ford was nominated for a Golden Globe, but lost to Tom Hanks for Philadelphia. Now, with that said, during the filming of the show, it was reported that Tommy Lee Jones told Joe Pantoliano,
Guido the Killer Pimp.
Guido the Killer Pimp. It's not like anyone.
And Cypher too, wasn't he? He was in the Matrix too, right?
Yes. Anyways, he was overheard saying this to the gentleman. It's not like anyone's gonna win an award for this film.
That's awesome.
All right.
So the speaking of nominations, James Newton Howard is the gentleman who did the music. He also ended up doing the music for the Dark Knight trilogy. He thought it was horrible. He hated his composition for this whole movie. Apparently the Academy Award thought differently because they did nominate him for best music in a movie. So, and bless their hearts, because that gave him the courage to do the Dark Knight, which is fucking awesome music also. Oh, and this is the only movie based on a TV show to ever get nominated for an Oscar.
All right. back to the train.
Okay.
I got to do this bit of trivia. So you said that they did this in one take, correct?
I believe so.
Do you know why they did it that way?
Well, when you only own one train and one bus, I think you only get one shot. And considering all the devastation that was going to happen around it, you probably only get one shot.
It proved to be cheaper to use full-size locomotives at a cost of $20,000 a piece rather
Than to do miniatures.
rather than creating a crash scene using miniatures. This was the heyday of you have to remember Skywalker Ranch was huge in the beginning of the 90s.
Right. Alien.
Weta films were huge in the beginning of the 90s. So all of this miniatures and computer aided stuff became really expensive in the 90s. On a side note, for anyone that knows where my warehouse used to be, one of the tenants that was in the warehouse with us had come there from the studios at Las Colinas, and they had a 20-foot long Hunt for the Red October submarine that was used in the film.
Oh, I was just watching that tonight at work. I love that film. Holy shit, I love that film.
They have the model with the arm extension on the one side. There's a piece of trivia for you. Do you know why the Hunt for Red October submarine only turned one direction?
Did they only finish one side?
No, the other side had the control arm.
Ah.
So every time you saw the Hunt for Red October submarine, it would always turn that way.
They couldn't just flip the film backwards?
I'm sure I'm sure they could have, but somebody would have recognized that something was not right. All right.
Oh, what other goodies we got here? Okay, we'll go to the day. Well, we do have to mention this entire shoot. How many days was this entire shoot?
73?
52.
Well, we have discrepancy here. This film was shot in 73 days and had one of the fastest turnarounds in production schedule.
Maybe this is just the Chicago. Okay, so Chicago, North Carolina, and Tennessee. So maybe the other days were in
studio.
So yeah, the actual outdoor shooting was only 52 days. Rewrites were occurring during the film, which we talked about earlier. But still, 70 days for a blockbuster film, you can't do that today, I don't think. And there were some, if I recall, there was some things that Harrison had to do, and they only had a limited time with him. So that was why it was such a rush to get everything done. Talking about the fact that there was a sequel, U.S. Marshals, and it was kind of just a remake of that film, but it was still Tommy Lee Jones. It was still good. So in the dam scene, where Tommy Lee Jones utters his famous "I don't care" line, Harrison Ford actually looked over the edge of that dam. Was looking down the actual dam. That was not superimposed. That was not camera trickery. He actually leaned over and looked out. Now, he was on cables to keep him from falling over. Now, when he jumped, obviously that was not him, and obviously that was not a stuntman. They used dummies, right?
Right.
How many dummies did they use?
I would say 32.
No, it was only 6. but the total and unfortunately, the company that was renting the dummies, um, were hoping to get them back in one piece. That didn't happen. It ended up costing them $60,000 for those 6 dummies to give their lives for that shot.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay. He breaks into the hospital.
Which one? He broke into the local hospital to get some clothes. He broke into the Chicago hospital to get information.
The second hospital.
Okay.
Okay. The young boy that Kimball treats at Cook County Hospital.
Yes.
Is played by who?
Oh, I do not know this one. Who is that?
His name is Joel Robinson.
Was he from The Wire?
He's not from anything.
No, okay.
Actually, hang on. Actually, his real name, okay. Harrison Ford could not remember the boy's character's name.
Okay.
So they allowed Harrison to call him Joel.
Because that was the kid's name.
During the scene when he was doing whatchamacallit.
Yeah, he's a chest wound and
yeah.
Yep.
The shows that he was in were Sister Kate, Uncle Buck, Richie Rich.
Oh, God.
And that's it. So he was an HBO guy.
Interesting.
There
Very
you
interesting.
go. I have more train stuff, but I don't think I want to do it. Alec Baldwin was you already ruined that piece of train.
Do you remember what the budget for the film was?
Ooh, I don't, and I'm not going to scroll backwards to find it.
Take a guess.
But I'm going to take a guess at probably $6 million.
No, it was actually a $44 million budget.
Damn, I thought that this would have been like a really low budget film that they somehow got. Well, you had Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
After Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So,
and do you know what the box office take was?
I do not. That is on the other page that I would have to scroll back to, and I would cheat doing that. But I will say, this: do you have it split between the first week?
This I don't know. I believe this is probably the original box office take on the film.
51 million?
No, God, way up.
Wow.
This was a blockbuster back in the day. Think big.
Well, I'm thinking big, but I'm also thinking about the fact that we reviewed a movie 2 weeks ago that only made $51 million total.
I know, right?
120 million?
$369 million.
Okay, that's got to be like total.
That's probably worldwide.
Yeah,
because this, and I don't have this written down. This is from memory. This was one of the very few movies released in China. So that probably had something to do with.
Oh, I did have that as a trivia question. That said that this was the first movie ever released in Chinese.
Yeah.
All right. During the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Well, I probably don't know this one now because Okay, go ahead.
The smiling black man in the hat. Do you know who he is?
I do not.
The smiling black man in the hat is Roland Burris, then Attorney General of Illinois.
Oh, wow.
who later became the junior senator from Illinois, filling the seat vacated by President Barack Obama.
Now that you've mentioned that, I do vaguely remember reading something about politicians in that movie. But yeah, that's kind of cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, the score is 32-2. Hold on. Where was the dam?
The dam.
Hold on. Where were the exterior shots of the dam filmed?
There's only two places they were at. That was Tennessee and North Carolina. I want to say North Carolina was the dam.
Topico City, Graham County, North Carolina. It is the Chiowa Dam. All right, your turn.
John Cusack's brother was actually in this movie. Did you know that?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay. Bill Cusack.
Bill Cusack. I actually went through the entire list of the cast. There were a lot of people in this that
went on to do some stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. What else? Just as a side note, and I love expectations subversions. There are two really good ones. When he is in Chicago in his rented apartment, and all of a sudden the cops show up, and you're for sure he's getting pinched, but they grab the grandkid of the Polish lady that rented out the room. I love that stuff. And the other one was when he got picked up by some lady when he was hitchhiking, and she had this cream-colored guy. You'd probably be a better idea of what the car that was, but it was like a Buick Century or something like that. But then the next scene is Tommy Lee Jones going, "Hey, we got him," and you see a cream-colored car about half a block down, and they pan onto this house, but it ends up being the other guy that got out of the train, the guy that let Kimball out of the locks and everything, getting popped and everything. So, yeah, kudos to them for messing with your head, something fierce. But yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Oh man, this
so you talked about the people that were considered for Harrison Ford's role.
Yes.
Did you talk about who they wanted for Tommy Lee Jones' role?
Yeah, actually, we did talk about it, guys. It was Gene Hackman and Jon Voight, who both turned it down.
Okay.
And there was probably someone else, too.
Well, the director wanted Nick Nolte. But Nick Nolte turned it down, said that he was tired of action movies and too old.
Well, the research I did said that he was for the role of Kimball and not for Gerard.
I'm not sure which, because this does not state that, but that could be.
That could be.
Actually, it does say, it says Walter Hill wanted to direct Nick Nolte starring. Oh, so that would be Kimball.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Alrighty then. Charles Nichols, the bad guy, the traitorous doctor who employs the one-armed man, is named for the Walter Matthau character in a comedy drama called House Calls. And like Richard Kimball in The Fugitive, Nichols is a widower, but one who's propositioned by a number of women and isn't sure who to choose. That's some out there trivia.
Did you actually happen to say that this was the third highest grossing film in 1993?
I did not.
Holy crap. And 93 was a big year for movies because Philadelphia came out then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And what was the other one then?
There was Philadelphia. There was this one.
I almost want to say it was a sci-fi movie, but
I do believe it was.
highest grossing movies of 1993.
Excuse me.
The Fugitive, Jurassic Park,
Yeah. There you go.
Cliffhanger, Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah, there was some steep. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, Dazed and Confused came out in 93.
No, really?
Gettysburg came out in 93. Falling Down, which I love.
Wow.
That. I love that movie. Tombstone. Sliver. Oh, Sliver. The only thing that was good in that was the naked chick. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Back to our Fugitive here. Included among the American Film Institute's 1998 list of the 40 movies nominated for the top 100 greatest movies of all time is this flick.
Nice, very nice. It's kind of amazing when you go through all this trivia and you realize there are so many writers, so many directors, so many choices of actors, that this thing came out as good as it did. And it would, and you know, like I said, this is a movie that would stand up today if they released it. Would it make that much money? I don't know, but it would make money.
Would it? Okay. Take away the fact that you have Tommy Lee Jones in it, because I honestly can't say that Harrison Ford is like a great actor. The younger he was, the better actor he was. As he got older, he kind of started to
started talking like this all the time.
Yeah, it was just the same character over and over again in a different hat. So the directing in this though was where I have to sit back and go, damn.
Directing. The editing was on point the whole time, and the score. Actually, like the guy hated it, but it never intruded, but it always heightened. It was good shit.
All right, Andrew Davis shot a lot of the material during this production, with a tight deadline between filming, editing, and release. 6 editors were hired. Do you know what they edited on?
I do not know what they edited on, but I seem to recall that they would edit throughout the night to get this stuff so they could see what it looked like the next day. But I do not know. Was it? I don't know.
So, as most of you know, I run a production company, so this is something that I didn't expect Burke to know. But there is a system out there called Avid, which also they are now making soundboards and different stuff like that. Avid and Premiere Pro were the 2 systems readily used for movies. They were the first movie to team up multiple editors on multiple machines to speed up the editing process. And so Davis, the director, had 6 editors, 3 on each machine, and they edited 24 hours a day. So you'd have an editor come in the morning, you'd have an editor come in the afternoon, and you'd have an editor run all night long. And it sped the editing process up to be able to make the timeline to release the movie within the 93 schedule. Ooh, what are you drinking now?
I had to do a little dab of the infinity bottle.
Man, there's not gonna be any of that left when I come for the Tears for Fears concert.
No. That's gonna keep working on it, but man, that's some good shit.
I'm gonna have to write my friend Mark Gurton and see if he can get me some tickets to the Tears for Fears concert. He works for AEG.
There you go.
Let's see here.
All right, so I got just a couple of stupid things here. The one-armed man, who was actually known as Freddie Sykes, is named after a character from Sam Peckinpah's The Wild Bunch, a 1969 film, an old-time bandit who was played by Edmund O'Brien. And Jeb Stewart, a writer, he heavily reworked David Tui's original screenplay for this movie during the course of the filming. He was also the lead writer for Die Hard. Hans Gruber from Die Hard shares the name of the villain with James Coburn, starring thriller Our Man Flint. And so, yeah, now I'm done with all my little Easter eggs and trivia on this film, man.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah. 2 pages, man. I've been doing a lot of talking tonight, man.
So, the guard in the bus.
Yes, that
throws his keys to.
Yes, that is one of the guys from Groundhog Day. That is a. He's related to. He's an Aykroyd, isn't he?
I'm not sure what his name is, but
no, he's an Aykroyd.
The actual question was, name a movie that he was in before this, and number one on the list. Number one on the list was not Caddyshack. It was Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
He plays the mayor.
Yeah, plays the mayor. But he was also the caddy master in Caddyshack. I think he's an Aykroyd brother, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I always thought that the guy in Groundhog Day who was in the hallway was related to them, but he is not. He used to do the Quiznos commercials, but that was all he was known for.
Let me go to the cast. He not Ron Dean. Give me the entire cast. All right, Harrison Ford, blah, blah, blah. There's
Brian Doyle Murray.
Yes. So he is related to
he's his brother.
So he's not an Aykroyd, he's a Murray.
Oh, sorry, not Dan. I really getting my names mixed up. I apologize.
But I thought that was a very neat thing. Anyways, with
also
that said,
in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and Wayne's World.
Like I said, this whole cast was in a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, even the side guys. I mean, yeah.
Ron Dean, who played Detective Kelly of the Chicago Police Department, was in The Dark Knight.
Yep. He played didn't he play the mayor?
Was he the mayor? I thought he was the police chief. Here I will. Oh, there's Dark Knight right there. Wirtz. That would be the mayor. No, he played Detective Wirtz.
Oh, okay.
So I was right. He was the head detective.
Oh, yeah. What Ron Dean was in some stuff also in The Dark Knight, wasn't he? Oh, he was in The Breakfast Club as Andy's father. Going back to it, yes. And
you want to lose your ride?
That's the guy who played Wirtz in The Dark Knight. Okay, got it.
What was it? The last piece of trivia that I have is Tommy Lee Jones agreed to do this movie when?
3 weeks before filming?
Right after he watched the movie Under Siege, which was directed by the same director. Okay, so what would you give this movie? A, B, C, D?
Or we're not doing 8 out or
F.
10 out of 10s or anything like that?
You know what? I haven't figured out how we need to. You know what we need to do? Since you and I both drink bourbon, I think we got to do it by bourbons.
By proof?
Not by proof, by how many bourbons you have to drink to enjoy it.
Oh no. This is a
Because
two bourbon film for me. I watched it sober, and then I watched it again having a couple drinks. I enjoyed it both ways. No, it was a very enjoyable film.
Okay, here are the parts of the film that I didn't like. I didn't like the music. I was not a fan of the music. I was not a fan of the underscoring in it.
Okay.
I would give this a 2 bourbon. I still enjoyed the film. The concept was great. The action was nonstop.
Yeah. It kind of draws you in and keeps you focused almost the whole time. Yeah, it's
And honestly, the thing that really fucking got me is that the way that they filmed it, it's still viable now.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see a lot of cars, so you couldn't really date it. I think this is a timeless film that could go on forever. So yeah, I'm giving it a 2 bourbon. So
2 bourbon sounds good.
So I'm gonna have to post this on our Facebook page so that people understand. The more bourbons there are, the worse the movie
film
is.
Yeah. It's like playing golf.
I am not going to give a 1 bourbon yet until we do a movie review of something that just absolutely blows me away. Which brings us to the next point, my friend.
And I am going to give you a choice. So,
Brother Burke, my friend.
Going to give you a choice of movies here, and they're 2 radically different movies from radically different times and radically different styles.
Okay.
One we've talked about before is the Gumball Rally.
Uh-huh.
The other one is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Which is tough because I love me some Edgar Wright movies.
Okay. How's about this? I say we do 2 movies at once and do it as a comparison.
You're gonna compare apples to steak? What the
Gumball Rally to the Cannonball Run.
Oh. All right. I love Murder by Death. Holy shit. And I've probably not seen that in 25 years.
I swear to God, these DVD companies should be paying us money for bringing up some of the old, oh, look at your little kitty.
You're on camera. Look, see the little blue light right there?
Bert's playing.
Yep. And it's going to hurt me here soon.
What type of camera are you using?
I honestly couldn't tell you if I had to because I think I threw away the box.
Oh.
Now I have my dash cam box, but and there's no markings on there. But
I have the Logitech 920, and I tell you what, the picture on it is phenomenal. And for a $70 camera, I was 100% impressed with the way that this. I mean, how's my picture look to you?
Your picture looks good. I mean, I think I paid $30 for this thing.
Yeah, you're a little fuzzy.
Yeah, a little bit. But on the flip side, I have a little cover that I can just cover up the camera at any time I want. So
I have a little cover too. All right.
So Cannonball versus the Gumball Rally. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay, yeah, I think what's really interesting about this is that Gumball has a guy who reminds me of the Fonda kid, and
yeah.
and the Fonda kid is in the Cannonball Run.
Yes.
If anyone remember, what was the motorcycle movie that he starred in?
Easy Rider.
Easy Rider. They actually play that motorcycle gang in the Cannonball Run. The cast,
yeah, that's right.
The cast from both of these movies is 100% screwed up, badass actors.
Yeah. Michael Sarrazin is the guy you're thinking that looks like, and he does. He looks a lot like Fonda. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God. Are you about to laugh? You're about to laugh. You are about to laugh, Burke. How's it going, Brother Bob?
You never told me when to get on. I looked at the agenda and it looked like right about an hour and 45 minutes into the show, and it's been 2 fucking hours.
Dude, you said that you were
in my own fucking hands.
You said that you were working until 8:30. We didn't start until 8:30.
I understand that. And once I saw that, I looked at what you sent me and you broke it down block by block.
Right.
I don't come in to the show until about an hour and 45 minutes into it.
Well,
and that was at 8:37. It is now 10:30, so I figured, I guess I'll just have to get on for myself. Because the administrator and the host apparently doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he had some technical issues.
No, I was talking about you.
Oh.
What can I do, man? I got nothing to do with this shit. I just show up.
That's exact, dude. That's the exact way I feel about all of it. I'm asked to show up, and I show up, and then I get ridiculed for 3 hours about what I have to say.
I have some bad news for you, Oshimita. We have already gone through The Fugitive, and both Burke and myself gave it a 2 bourbon rating.
What's the highest?
The highest rating is a 1 bourbon.
Oh, the highest would be 0, technically,
well,
right?
Yeah, the highest would be 0. Okay, it's how many bourbons do you have to drink to watch this movie?
It's kind of like golf. The lower the score, the better.
Yeah. So you guys don't approve of this movie?
No. It got a 2 bourbon.
That's as close to perfect as we've gotten so far.
Okay, so I'm thinking the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I need to drink a lot just to be able to watch this movie.
Yes.
You guys are saying that you're watching this movie and it makes you want to just keep drinking because it's a great movie.
No, it's a movie that I only have to drink 2 drinks. I'm not annoyed by it. I love it.
Okay. So I'm with you. Now I'm on the same page.
If I had to watch when Harry Met Sally, that's
an infinite bourbon movie.
Yeah, that's at least 42 bourbons.
I can promise you by saying I've never seen it.
Lucky you.
I'm not a huge movie guy. I really am not.
So,
but yeah, no, that's cool. I tried to watch The Fugitive last night, but apparently Hulu and Netflix doesn't have available. I mean, I know I've seen it 100 times, but I wanted to refresh my memory.
I think I watched it on Hulu.
I tried. I searched it, and
Huh.
I got the Fugitive series from like the 60s.
Yeah.
I did watch one of those to see what the difference was between.
It's not even close.
The old ones are very interesting though.
There you go, Cat.
Yeah, Burke's playing with his pussy.
I really have a hard time watching anything in black and white unless it's Three Stooges.
Wild Wild West.
Nah, I'm not a big Western guy. Bonanza, kind of. I was a Bonanza
Wild
guy.
Wild West was not a Western, man. That was like the James Bond of the Old West, man.
Okay. I thought you were. There was a television show called The Wild Wild West.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Bob
I
Conrad.
was a kid growing up, but that's about it.
Bob Conrad was in it. It was a phenomenal show, and it was. They had the space age train that they rode in. The one guy that
Robert Conrad. That's who you're thinking of.
Robert Conrad. As a matter of fact, I have Baba Black Sheep sitting right here as well. Which that will be going onto the Google Drive here soon.
Okay, so since I missed the segment about Dr. Richard Kimball, do I still have my trivia question?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, man.
Okay.
What do you mean? Burke and I have like 40 trivia questions. We just went an hour and a half. You
And
only
I
got
won.
one?
And for once, I won.
Well, you guys can ask me a couple. That'd be fine.
Okay.
But here's my trivia question. And I had to think long and hard about this because I wanted to be something, there's so many that, the normal person that hasn't seen The Fugitive multiple times would be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, so in the scene with the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Yep.
We're about to. Oh, this was on my trivia list.
Richard Kimball blends in to a group of walkers.
Okay.
So that Mr. Gerard can't find him. What was the name of that group of men?
Ooh, that's a good question because I remember
Because they say it on the movie on the loudspeaker.
I remember the band. Because
Hold on. This was like a local union of.
Is he on his phone?
No. Hands up. Here.
Because Scott accuses me of that shit.
Blank
all
phone.
The time.
Local union of
Not even
it was
lit
either
up.
pipe layers or brick layers, I think.
God, you're so fucking close. It's not funny.
Masons?
No.
What was it?
The Union of Plumbers.
Damn.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
So close.
Say it. This is the Union of Plumbers. There's no something with this group.
Son of a bitch, I have it on my trivia right here. The parade chase was improvised, but Harrison Ford did get permission to walk with the Plumbers Union.
Pipe layers was damn close. You got to admit.
Damn it, I even had it in my trivia.
That sucks because I didn't think either one of you would come even close.
Oh, dude, when you you're about to get hit with some
Yeah, and I haven't
some
seen
trivia here.
Probably 2 years, and I'm 50 years old, and my memory sucks, so I'm gonna probably miss most of them.
Now, I'm 55, so I don't want to hear about it, man.
Hey, Burke can start with his while I'm looking at
Adventure
mine.
runs in my family.
I don't even know how to ask these as trivia questions, man.
You should start at the beginning. What was the first one that you asked me?
It was based on a TV series from 63 to 67. The producers from that TV show also went on to do Maverick and the Rockford Files, and it was inspired by the book Les Miserables. Script took 5 years, 25 different phases, 8 writers. Who was the first choice for Richard Kimball as an actor? Who did they want to be that guy? I'll take any of the 4, actually. There were 4 guys they wanted for the role. I'll take any 4.
Okay, so this is 1993.
Yep.
And the fact that you mentioned Maverick and the Rockford Files in the same sentence, James Garner.
That was no, don't go off of that. That was just about the TV series only. So no. So think about 1993. Who was hot back then? Who was a leading man? Who would be their first 4 picks for Dr. Richard Kimball?
1993. See, this is where I'm just going to totally draw a blank because I was not a movie guy at all, and actor-wise, like that the Hollywood scene, it just wasn't me. I was more into rock music. But let's see, early 90s. Tom Cruise is a no.
Nope, too young.
Yeah, but when was Top Gun? That was.
No, he was too young for the part, though. I mean, even back
in
Top Gun days.
Okay. So Harrison Ford's in his 40s there at that point, probably.
Pretty close, yeah. Just pick somebody.
Do 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 do.
Clint Eastwood. I got no idea.
Yeah. Okay. Kevin Costner was their first choice. Michael Douglas was their second choice, and Nick Nolte was their third choice.
See, now that you say that, I should have. I think to myself, why the fuck didn't I think about that?
Yeah, I mean, 48 Hours was out around that time, and
so there was Nick Nolte, no, but I could see Douglas playing that role.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then for Agent Gerard, who were their 2 first picks for that role?
We're talking about basically the same
group, but no, they wanted a bad guy, so 2 guys, and these are a little lesser known, perhaps, but
well, if they're lesser known than Michael Douglas, then how the hell am I going to know?
Well, John Voight is one.
John Voight.
And Gene Hackman was the other one.
Oh, neither one of them. No.
I know, right?
No.
All right.
That would have totally ruined the movie.
Harrison Ford was the first actor to sign on to the film in September 1992 and personally agreed with Andrew Davis, who was directing the film, after what?
They agreed to let Tommy Lee Jones be Samuel Gerard.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Harrison Ford agreed to do the movie after seeing Under Siege, which was directed by Andrew Davis, and was very impressed with the results.
And Tommy Lee Jones was the lead actor.
I mean, you could say that. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he stole the show. I mean, technically he wasn't the lead. That was Harrison Ford, but Tommy Lee stole every scene he was in.
No, Under Siege.
But Tommy
was the show.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee was not the reason that he signed on. He signed on because of the directing.
I think those kind of go hand in hand personally, but okay.
During the scene in the prison, when Harrison Ford is running away from Tommy Lee Jones, he runs through 2 doors that are supposedly automated, closing, and bulletproof. What does Tommy Lee Jones do?
He shoots at the door, and then he puts his arms up like, what the fuck? Then he says, open the fucking doors!
Okay, so he shot at the door. Now.
And Harrison Ford couldn't get his fucking foot out of the fucking door.
Okie dokie, we're here now. So, was the bullets hitting the glass on those bulletproof doors an effect, or was it real?
I mean, I would assume they're blanks.
So close.
So close. Very close.
They're not going to be real bullets.
They used real bullets made out of wax, so that when it hit the bulletproof window, it looked like
Bullets hitting glass.
bullets hitting glass.
Okay, but ultimately they're still blanks.
No, they're real
Real
bullets.
projectiles, but yeah. A little.
It's still
half and half
considered
there.
a bullet. Yeah.
Okay.
So he was really being shot at. Would it kill him? No. But the other part of that was that Tommy Lee Jones was firing blanks, and there was a technician on the side who was shooting the live wax rounds. Let's see.
How many Academy Awards
This
did
one
that
was
movie win? And bonus points for which category?
Okay, well, I'm going to say 3.
1.
Okay, so then it's best leading actor.
No, come
No.
on, man. It's Tommy Lee Jones and the best supporting actor. Come on, man.
Now to add on to this.
I mean, there are people that could say that he was the lead actor in that movie.
Well, okay. Now you got to remember, as the movie posters and everything, Harrison Ford was the lead actor.
Right.
He was, you got to go by, that kind of shit.
Now here's a piece of trivia that adds on to that. Tommy Lee Jones reportedly told Joe Pantoliano, "It's not like anyone is going to win any awards for this shit."
Well, that's Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones is my favorite actor of all time, and I make no excuses for that. But the guy is just he just says it how he fucking feels it.
Well, he ad-libbed the line at the dam right before Kimball jumps over, where Kimball goes, "I didn't kill my wife.
I don't care."
And then another one when some kid was sitting off to the side, just kind of hunched down. He's like, "What are you doing?" So I'm thinking, well, think me up a coffee. Coffee and a chocolate donut. Yeah.
With sprinkles. With sprinkles.
My favorite part of the dam is when he jumps and he goes to the edge and looks, and then Cosmo comes up and he's like, "Guy did a Peter Pan off of this dam right here." Boom. And Cosmo's like, "Wow. Okay, can we go home now?" And he goes, "No."
And do you remember?
And then they go down and they go, "The guy's fish food." He said, "Well, get a cane pole and go catch fish and ate him."
Do you remember Cosmo? I guess was his name. Do you remember the other movies he was in?
I've seen him in a couple of movies that most likely will escape me, but I've seen him in other stuff.
He was in Risky Business as Guido the Killer Pimp.
Okay, yes, I do remember that.
And then he was also in The Matrix. He was the guy that was the bad guy. Well,
I've never seen any of the Matrix movies. I'm not a movie person.
He was in Bad Boys. What else was he in? Oh
now,
God,
guy.
Oh my gosh, I know where he's from now. Okay. Have any of you watched the movie Spring Break
With Mark Harmon? No, that was Summer School.
You talking about the 4 kids on the small bus?
No. You and I actually had a conversation about Spring Break. Spring Break is about oh my God, no.
I thought Spring Break was about me and Mama Spetty going to Puerto Rico.
No, he was in the original. He was in the original Spring Break, and they are about to put out a new release of Spring Break 1983. Where four friends go to Fort Lauderdale to have sex and frolic and all that shit. But he was also in what he's starring in right now is Tacoma FD. One of my friends, Jordan, I've got to bring Jordan on the show one day when we do movie reviews or something.
I have a hard time finding that you have this many friends.
He is
Me too.
So into Super Troopers, and
God, yeah.
If you've ever watched Tacoma FD, it's written by the same guys.
Yeah, is that the where they're
all
firefighters?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And one of the Super Troopers, whatever, plays a guy named Eddie Panisi Jr. Cosmo or Joe Pantoliano plays his dad in Tacoma FD, who is the actual fire chief over everyone in Tacoma. Ends up firing his son like every other week. It's freaking hilarious. He is freaking hilarious.
Where did Bob go?
Usually that's to go get another beer or to piss again.
Alrighty then.
He'll show up.
All right, I had to piss.
It was number 2. It was a number 1, but number 2 choice.
So the other guy, not Cosmo, and his name escapes me also, the taller dude with the mustache. Now, he's
Sykes?
been in... What was that?
Sykes?
No. Sykes was the killer.
Right.
No, I'm talking about the other guy that worked with Tommy Lee Jones and Cosmo, the taller dude with the mustache.
Yeah, that's the one that was thinking.
No. That was Newman. Newman was the guy I'm thinking. And he says, well, think me up a chocolate donut, a cup of coffee and chocolate donut with some sprinkles on it. There was the other guy.
Oh, God. Chicago.
He was a taller guy, kind of blondish hair, had a mustache. I can't remember his name, but he's been on multiple different shows through the years.
Who, Biggs?
Biggs, yes.
Okay. Daniel Roebuck.
Yeah. He was on Matlock for years. He's been on NCIS. So as far as the other guy, yeah, I didn't see those shows, but Daniel Roebuck has been on a lot of different shows over that. But I will say, off the topic, 2 things. The one thing that really pissed me off the most is the second Fugitive movie that they killed off Newman.
Oh, yeah.
That just bothered me. That whole movie to me sucked because of that.
Oh, he was on Wizards of Waverly Place as well.
And the other thing is, Tommy Lee Jones, The Fugitive wasn't his best work. His best movie was playing Ty Cobb.
I loved him in Men in Black, too, so.
Oh, well, yeah, but when he played Ty Cobb, I don't know if you've seen the movie, but oh, my Lord.
And Scott, we both effed up. The guard in the bus is not a Murray. The guy on the bus was Richard Reel. And he was in Office Space.
Yes.
The guy that had the jump to conclusion mat.
Yes.
He looks an awful lot like a Murray, though. I mean, I can understand where we both got screwed up. But yeah, that was not a Murray.
But Dick Cusack was in the movie. Who?
Bill.
Dick as well.
Really?
Yes.
What are you bringing me? What the fuck is this? The cat just drug in this fucking toy. What do you want me to throw? What is that? Do you want me to throw it? Like, okay. Fucking thing's bigger than him. All right.
So you guys done with me now?
Anyways.
Did you know that this was the only movie ever based on a TV show that got nominated for an Oscar?
I did not know that, but it does not shock me.
Yeah, because most
you know
TV shows suck when they go to a movie.
Did you know that this was the first film to ever be produced in America and released in China?
I'm going to take that as a no from Bob.
I guess he's not answering anymore.
There'd be no way in absolute hell that I'd be able to answer that question. I would have no clue.
You know how many dummies they use to chuck over the side of the dam?
6.
Oh, shit. You got it right the first time. Yes, 6 is the right answer. At a cost of, take a guess.
$46,000.
Damn close. 60.
Freaking real close.
That's fucking impressive, man. I'm impressed.
When did they turn off the water?
The scene where Kimball is running through the St. Patrick's Day parade was not scripted. They did, however, get permission from the mayor of Chicago to do this.
But did the Grand Marshal also approve?
Well, he had nothing to do with it.
What the mayor says goes.
The entire sequence
he
was...
put the leprechaun hat on that he found in the trash, and then he just mixed in with the plumbers union.
In all reality, like, the crowd did not know Harrison Ford was going to be there, and he blended in for an awfully long time because he was trying to blend in, but eventually he did get sighted. And
now the entire sequence was shot by handheld Steadicam. No rehearsals, and none of it was scripted. So they ad-libbed that whole thing.
So they just happened to be filming at that place, right? Where they shot at him. And the
film crew just got a bunch of Steadicams and said that, and I guess the director loved the Chicago parade in the first place. It was like, we got to do this during the Chicago parade. So he got all the actors, he got all the Steadicams, and said, "Go!" And that was all they had, was just go. And so they just ad-libbed every bit of it.
But that was really the only thing allowed him to get away, because he's not going to outrun 5 U.S. Marshals. So I mean, whatever they did was brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the thing, is that since it was unscripted, they literally looked at him and said, "Go." Now, he did get permission to walk with the plumbers as well, but we already discussed that.
Yep.
I just love the fact he grabbed the freaking leprechaun hat out of the trash can and
Not
stuck
it
it
open, yeah.
and just blended in with all these fucking old fat guys.
Did you know that Juliana Moore's character was supposed to have a much bigger role in this? She was actually
love interest.
Yeah, she was actually supposed to have fallen in love with Kimball.
Actually, Jane's character was supposed to be a love interest also, which really would have screwed up the whole first act of the film. So that's why they cut
I
it.
mean, he's married. It's his wife.
Yeah, he loves his wife, and that just drives the whole film.
Well, I think that's why they stopped that whole thing.
Wait a minute. Julianne Moore was the ER doctor.
Right.
Okay.
And then Jane, the chick
I'm
from 40-Year-Old
called
Virgin, she was in it as one of the not a nephrologist. You had the term. What was it?
Oh, a pathologist.
Pathologist. Yes, thank you.
Right. You know, his wife, who really was only alive for like 2 minutes into the movie, she's one of the hottest actresses I've ever seen in my life.
We all agree on that part.
Is that not what I said at the beginning of this?
Oh yeah, we all agree on that part.
Black hair, and it just gets better from that.
Let's see.
She's
here.
a bit of all right.
I like another part of that movie, and I guess you guys moved past that movie, and since Scott didn't tell me when to get on, I'm just planning. Is when he goes into the bathroom with the guy that's in a coma or whatever, and he shaves his beard. He just looks in the mirror and is like, "Motherfucker, I really got to do this."
Hey, wait! It says 7:45. Get on Zoom.
Okay, but if the show was supposed to start at 6:00,
Well, then you should have gotten on.
at 7. No.
You should have gotten on anytime after 7:45. Should have gotten on anytime after 7:45.
We weren't even filming at 7:45.
Okay, you said the Zoom was open at 7:38. I looked at your schedule, and I don't come on for an hour and 45 minutes.
Why would I send you? Okay, why would I send you a text that says the Zoom is open? If I did,
both of us.
Why the fuck would I send you a thing that says that? Okay, now you're totally making yourself look like an ass.
I don't think so.
100%.
No, because I know how to.
You
do
were
math.
sent. You were sent a note to get on the Zoom.
Okay, so let me.
Then
go back
you
to
get on the Zoom and you blame everything on Burke.
I didn't blame him. Number one, number two. Last night you said to me, "I sent you an email about the show rundown for tomorrow," and I went, "Oh fuck, another show? I've done two straight days." You said, "Yes, this is the one we go over the Fugitive." I'm not going to be wrong on this, and I don't care what you say.
You're absolutely
said,
wrong on this.
Look at the show schedule. I said, I am door dashing tomorrow, and I said it starts at like 6 o'clock or something, and you're like, look at the schedule. And I looked down, I'm like, oh, I don't come in till 7:45.
Not only is it written on the schedule that you come in at 7:45, but you were sent a text at 8:35 that said the Zoom is open.
But you started an hour and a half later.
The Zoom is open.
Oh, I get it. I understand where he's coming from. He thought we started at the very top, and we decided to cut out the whole top shit because we were starting so late. I get where he's coming from now. I get it. Everything was 2 hours later. That's what he thought. You should have said, hey, we cut the first half of the show. Our part's coming on now. Get your ass on.
I kind of did that with the Zoom is open.
That's too subtle for Bob.
It's too subtle for anybody.
Hold on. I'm making a note of this to the next time, right? Motherfucker, get your goddamn ass on the goddamn Zoom right the fuck now instead of just the Zoom is open. I thought I was being kind, but apparently I need to be a dick with people from now on.
Okay, no, you really don't, but it's what I interpreted it as.
Well,
a miscommunication doesn't mean you got to become a dick.
I interpreted from your text that you weren't going to be home in time to do the show as, okay, come in when you get done.
I should have text you at 8:10 and went, I'm home.
Mm-hmm. But I'm also 2 bourbon and ginger ales in. So.
And I'm 4 or
So I
5.
was
So,
doing
I'm
I
out.
was trying to make as much money as I can in tomorrow because we're
Yeah.
supposed to get like 2 inches of ice and then like 7 inches of snow on top of it Thursday.
2
And I'm not driving in the shit
2 inches.
of ice
2 inches.
and then 7
That's-
inches of snow on
Scott,
top of it.
That's
Holy
what your old lady
shit.
says constantly.
No,
2 inches.
well, she says 2 inches around.
They don't call you Stump for nothing, obviously.
They don't even call me Stump, dude. There's a reason why I can't sleep with fat chicks. It's because the tip only makes it into the lump.
First
man.
fold.
Sweet Jesus.
All right. We've totally killed the fugitive. I'm done.
But I'm glad that we got to at least get some Bob time in on this movie because it was his whole, like, I want to do the fugitive thing. So,
It
Well,
was your movie.
Next time when Scott texts me, motherfucking asshole, piece of shit, dick fuck, get on the fucking show right now, I'll understand what he's saying.
But that's okay. I'll just get back. I'm door dashing.
all right, John.
All right, guys, we are out of here. Thank you all for having a great evening and enjoy The Fugitive. We'll be back next week. What are we doing next week, Bert?
You have to tell me because it's not going to be a movie review. What's it going to be?
We'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
All right, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night.
On behalf of Burke, Scott, and the rest of the cast at the Davis and Davis Show, we'd like to thank you for listening, and we hope you return next week. Remember, we're not a law firm, and we just don't care.